Rip Curl Pro Portugal, and we are in round number 4, 3-surfer heat. Joan Duru, Kanoa Igarashi, and Wade Carmichael. 2 of these men are moving on to the quarterfinals. 1 will take away a 9th place finish. 10th edition of this wondrous event. And we're going to turn our attention to Kanoa Igarashi, speeding down the line, pulls into a nice left-hand barrel. Second section for Igarashi. Can he make the exit? And just coming up short. So before we hit that replay, we're going to check in with Gabe Medina. He's on the beach with Rosie Hodge.
You've got all of the way surf ranch, the wave systems added in. So there's there's all sorts of stuff going on.
Duru up and riding, hooks it off the top on the backhand foamy face. He handles it vertical for that second punch. Looking for more, but that's all he's going to get. But nice start for Joan Duru. Currently on the board, we have a 4-point ride for Kanoa Igarashi. We'll wait for the judges to make their decision for the surfer representing France, looking for his best result of 2018 if he can get through this heat.
His surfing is there. It's just a matter of getting a few breaks, and maybe this is the event. As you watch him trying to find some open face, this is something that I think is essential, considering we've had, even Gabe mentioned a lot of closeouts. That's that low tide. It's hard to find that open face, so sometimes you'll sacrifice a little bit of the size of the wave to find that open face. He's been able to sit on both tours.
Here we go, Joan Duru under the curtain, just a quick one, and he kicks out. So before we get to that replay of Joan Duru, we got some news from the beach. Strider Wazalewski's with our Deputy Commissioner, Travis Logie.
It'll be a little bit more challenging out here, as you can see with this kind of surfing we're seeing now.
Joan stabs the lip on the backhand, back up on it again. And can he get a third turn? No, but did some damage there, probably bettering his 1.7 that he has in his score line. Currently in first in the heat, but he just wants to pull away from the pack and ensure a quarterfinals berth. Here's a replay.
Has some open face, and he capitalizes with 2 beautiful straight up backhand hits. That's going to be the best wave of the heat. Haven't seen a lot of that in the last few heats, so it says a lot about his wave choice and his ability to get into the lip so quickly. Someone can run away with it, but Kanoa's not going to back down.
No, winding up off the bottom, lip glide there for Igarashi. Difficult section to get up and into, and looks like he put it down, but the explosion just engulfed Igarashi and took him down. Was that a complete? Because it looked like he got down from the lip, planted, but that explosion ate him.
It was just impressive for him to even get back up that thing. And the wave's already broken all the way down, and he somehow climbs all the way up the roof of that wave, gets back down and lands it. But again, with those types of maneuvers, you have to have a lot of speed to get out and away from the wave. It does seem like it's settled in a little bit, though. I mean, it was pretty wild there for a while. And like we had mentioned, there is those moments that it starts to slow down.
Igarashi strikes it to the lip, throws the tail, fins out the back, around the bottom again, and another aggressive turn. Igarashi's just been surfing with just such ferocity and just planted on his board throughout this event. So impressive, so no doubt that's going to better his low of a 2.43, but I'll ask you, Peter.
Proved just a completed ride. He did fall on the 2.43, so this will not as impressive as a maneuver, the one he fell on, but again, finding the open face, going straight up and getting some release out of the fins, and getting 2 maneuvers in on one wave. And a lot of the scores that we saw from the heats previous, some of them were just 1 maneuver waves. So Kanoa doing a good job of navigating this lineup.
You don't even need us to tell you those stats because you can find them yourself, but we thank you for watching and listening to us.
Yeah, listen to us.
Here we go. Kanoa Igarashi off the bottom, building up some momentum in this heat. Big floater and just gets tossed off his heel on the landing there. Looked like a tough landing.
It was a tough landing. Usually he is one to stomp those, and now asking for a replay, a new board because it looks like he's buckled it.
Oh yeah.
He was waving for a new equipment. That's what I was looking for.
Watch that.
Oh. Bang. It's going to have a crease on the bottom.
As he starts paddling back out, Wade Carmichael gets it started now in the barrel. Second section, Carmichael fights his way through the lip for completion. That's going to be his first number, and he's done it after about 19 minutes and 30 seconds have transpired.
It's going to be a big number, but it is going to be a number nonetheless. You see, he did see opportunity to be barreled, but again, he felt like he had to run down the line, which put him too far out front. You know, what could he have done a little better? I don't know, because the wave was going to end up running the bank and closing out at some point. So just a nominal score there, probably in the 2 range.
Yep, a 2.1. So he's still got a lot of work to do. Wade Carmichael needs a 7-point ride to get into second place. Joan Duru looking aggressive on the backhand, and look at this wave, stabs it up in the lip again. Can he get back for a closer, and does so. Upside down, gets a little bobbled off there, rides in front of the whitewater in my book, but we'll see what the judges think about that completion.
Check this replay, but again, we talked about his backhand being, as we like to call it, lethal. And this is why, because he is so confident up in the lip. He is not shy about going for it in vertical sections. So 2 turns and the 3rd, I feel like that's complete.
Exactly. Yeah,
it's a little out of control, and it will slightly affect the score.
Better chance to see it in slow motion right now, Peter. So now you can tell me, really analyzing the completion.
What do you say?
Well, I'm generous, so I say complete.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, you think about his scores as he's up and riding now.
Talk about adding points. Igarashi off the bottom, hooks it off the top. One more time, little caught up, but does good to get back up in the lip and complete that ride. Pin drop exit to not gain more ground towards shore. 4-point rides is low, looking to better that.
Well, if he does, it'll be just by the slightest of margins. But he was, you know, he was very close to some bigger numbers. You know, had he pulled off some of the moves he did earlier in this heat. Beautiful first snap, then the nose digs, loses some speed in that final maneuver, so that's going to affect the score. That's part of that flow, which is part of the criteria, a little bit of that.
Wade Carmichael throws the hatchet up and chops it down with that finish.
So he's quickly in and out. That's not going to be quite the 7-point ride needed, but it will go into his top 2, and it could, which I think it will, to turn this heat. But the clock is his nemesis at the moment, with only 1:45 to go. 2 beautiful snaps. That late drop. Was able to get the first critical snap and the second even better. Same technique as Kanoa uses with the pin drop, so that gets you out the back very quickly.
Wave lines up, no opportunity. Carmichael takes a 9th place finish. Kanoa Igarashi and Joan Duru head to the quarterfinals when we return to competition here at the MEO Rip Curl Pro Portugal. We're going to take a break, but when we come back, you're going to want to catch up. We're going to have the WSL post show. Myself, Peter, and we're going to bring in Strider as well to talk about all today's happenings.